What is up, guys? Alright, so there are a multitude of reasons you may need or want to do different rotors than OEM. For me, my OEM rotors got, well, they're pretty much down to their service limit, so I decided to switch them out. When I started shopping, I found out the prices of them were insane, so I decided to do some research. I'm going to pass that research on to you today. I mean, hopefully I can help you out. As always, stick around for the intro, and we'll discuss some cheaper alternatives. Alright guys, so when you start looking at rotor replacements, there's a disturbing trend in all of them, and that is they're expensive. OEM on the 954, even with the site that I use, which discounts OEM parts pretty decently, are around $400 a piece. Okay, Galfer, some of the other like big brands, also around $400 a piece. Some of the EBCs around $200. Yanashiki, you can get a set for around $300, which I don't like their design anyway. It looks really funky to me. So when you're trying to get a price down to a reasonable amount, one of the first places people turn is naturally eBay. And there are a ton of rotors on eBay. Lucky for you, I did a little research before I purchased what I did. I can actually pass that research and the product I ultimately chose on to you. You may or may not have the same experience with this brand as I do, or did. Hopefully, it works the same for you as it does for me if you so decide to use them. Like I said, I did my due diligence, I did some research, ordering anything from China, and I've had bad experiences with Chinese parts. It can go either way. So I did some research on the forum that I love so much, fireblades.org, and one of the guys that used to be on there a lot, he's not so much anymore, but Blade Racer, was purely a track rider. He does track days and races, stuff like that. He wanted a cheaper alternative to all the high-end, our OEM parts. So of course he did the same thing. He turned to eBay and he tried a brand called Arashi, I don't know, A-R-A-S-H-I. They actually did pretty good for him. No major issues. Even under track use, no warping or anything like that. On his advice, I decided to go ahead and give them a try. And there are positives and negatives to them. Now, I can't speak for any of the other eBay brands or even Galfer or anything like that, just because if I'm going to spend that much, I'm just going to go with OEM, which I know lasts pretty darn well. So alright, here's my experience thus far. Now, I actually put these rotors on, I would say somewhere around 10,000 to 15,000 miles ago. I don't remember exactly what I was at when I switched them out. But here's what I can say so far. The only issue, or the only thing I can really complain about, I get little spots of surface rust on the braking surface itself. So on the actual rotor, or the actual part where your disc makes contact, I've been getting little spots of rust that, again, it's not deep and you really can't feel it, but it's annoying and you don't want rust on your, brand new rotors. So, I mean, that's one negative of these things so far that I've noticed, is just that little surface rust. And as soon as you start braking, like, within a couple hundred feet, it's completely gone. It's not there anymore. But then on the non-braking surface, it also is getting little spots of rust, or very small spots of rust. Now, unlike the factory rotors and some of the other higher quality rotors, they're not stainless steel, and that probably has a lot to do with it. And I'm sure there are some eBay stainless steel ones. I think these ones are actually listed as stainless steel, and I think that's probably a load. I don't think they are actually stainless like they were advertised as, but at the price, not bad. The other issue I had, and this was only when I first put them on, and this is why I always tell people, before you really judge a product, before you go do an online review, put some mileage on these things. When I first got these rotors and put them on, and they bolted up great, by the way, so the install and everything, I mean, they were direct OEM replacement. Nothing tricky to the install side of the house. They went right on just like they're supposed to. No issues, no complications, I guess is the best word for it. So that's always a plus. Once they were on, I mean, they seemed really good at first, but then I actually started to develop a ticking sound. It wasn't all the time. It was lower speeds. While braking, I would get a slight tick, and it sounded like the rotor sliding back and forth on the bobbins, I guess is how you'd say it. I'm pretty sure that's actually what it was. Now, I did manage to clear that up real quick. What I did was, I mean, they lasted, I don't know, somewhere between 500 to 1,000 miles that it did this. And I don't know if what I did is what cured the problem, but I basically took it up to like 130 mile an hour and then just did some like really hardcore braking all the way back down to, you know, pretty much stopped. And that more or less immediately cleared it up. It never did it again after that. So again, I don't know if that's what cleared it, but I can tell you that's what worked for me. It was nothing I could feel, so I wasn't that worried about it. If I could have felt the clicking, I would have definitely been nervous. But it was just an audible sound, and it was more annoying than anything. But once that was gone, braking performance, I would say, is as good as OEM. I don't want to say it's really any better than OEM was. Now, given I've always had stainless steel braided lines on my bike, so they did seem to grip a little bit better than the OEM rotors. If anything, it's a marginal difference. It's not something extreme to where all of a sudden you tap the brakes and you're like locking up the front wheel. That could all be in my head. Other than that, I haven't noticed any additional pad wear, even though they're slotted rotors. You know, your OEMs are drilled, these ones are slotted. I thought maybe you would wear pads out a little bit quicker. Speaking of which, I'm close to due up for pads, so in the near future, watch for a doing stuff video on front brakes for a 954. The biggest thing on it is just Galfer and ABC, Yanashiki, all those brands, you're going to spend at least $300 to $400. That's at a minimum. You know, if you're doing a set of Galfers, you're spending $800 just like you would for a set of OEM. eBay rotors, I think I paid $180 for the set. $180 shipped. The negative was I ended up waiting 2 or 3 weeks to get them. You know, I had that ticking. They do have a tendency to get that spots of surface rust, but other than that, they've been fantastic. Like I said, I'm 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 miles deep on these things. They are still within their service limit. They still grip fine, and I've had no warping. I've had no problems with the bobbins. The problems I would imagine on a less expensive or cheaper set of rotors, I have not seen. And I've heard nightmares about people having a lot of warping and all that, just really cheap steel, I guess. On this brand, I've done well. I haven't had any of these issues come up. Again, I mean, I can only speak to this one brand of eBay rotors because that's what I'm using. So Arashi rotors, I mean, $180 for the pair. You're looking at half the price of one single Galfer, you know, wavy rotor, whatever they are. You're looking at half the price, and like I said, performance-wise, they've done fantastic. Durability so far, I know they're within limit. I haven't mic'd them out recently to see if they're still within limit, but I had a while to go last time I checked them. I would definitely recommend them. I have had nothing but good experiences after, like I said, the first 500, 1,000 miles with that click. I would recommend them to anybody that wanted a less expensive set of rotors that still perform just fine. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, that bottom right corner, there is a little watermark. You can click on that and automatically subscribe, or click that subscribe button. It always makes me happy. Like I said, if you're rebuilding a bike or you need to replace your rotors or they're just due up, man, save yourself the $400, $600. Go on eBay, find Arashi, I don't know, whatever. I can't provide a link because any link I provide is just going to expire at some point, so I'm not going to do a link in the description like I normally would on a review. But that is it for now, guys. I'm going to enjoy this absolutely amazing weather, get some good riding in. So y'all be safe, and I will see you in the next video.